Imagine a land where two great powers ruled simultaneously, with no handshake, no unity, only perplexing parallelism. Every institution existed twice: two police forces, prisons, courts, currencies, schools. Citizens carried three sets of identity papers and could choose which legal system governed them. It wasn't fusion, union, or federation. It was a political arrangement so staggeringly bizarre, it defied everything we know about governance. Welcome to the Library of Lost Lands, where we dwell into the tales of political entities that once were and are no longer with us, where we explore vanished states and hush-hush sovereignties. This is the story of the Condominium des Nouvelles Hebrides, once the world's strangest jointly ruled territory, governed in overlapping and often contradictory ways by both Britain and France for nearly 74 years. Scattered across the South Pacific, this archipelago lies blanketed in volcanic forests and coral-fringed beaches. It was home to islanders tracing back millennia, connected by canoe, culture, and custom, yet separated by language and lagoon. Settled by the ancient Lapita culture around 1300 BCE, these islands became home to dozens of distinct languages. Sometimes neighboring villages spoke entirely different tongues. The land was rugged and volcanic, shaped by eruptions and crowned with thick forests. Here, local traditions included ritual leaps, early forms of the famous bungee jump, when young men plunged from wooden towers with vines tied to their ankles. European contact in the 19th century, whalers, traders, missionaries, brought steel, disease, urgency. British and French plantations began to sprout. To avoid war and extortion, and foil the growing German influence in neighboring Papua, London and Paris struck a compromise in 1906. A condominium, a joint rule, except it was anything but cooperative. On paper, it looked diplomatic: equal representation, respect for local customary law, and a choice between British or French legal systems. It seemed to honor both imperial interests and the people who lived there. But in practice, utter chaos, and hilariously surreal. Dual governments, flags, currency, bureaucracy, and legal systems. Parallel prisons. If someone committed a crime against a person from the other colonial system, both police forces argued over jurisdiction. People would sometimes request transfers between jails, choosing prisons based on food quality or visiting rules. Two governors, one shunning the other. The British and French resident commissioners wouldn't always speak directly. Instead, they'd exchange formal notes, sometimes across the same compound, rather than talk face to face. Triple paperwork. Islanders often carried three sets of ID, British, French, and from the joint court. One diplomat called this pandemonium for its absurd redundancy. Locals sometimes used the confusion to their advantage, crossing boundaries to pick the lighter set of rules. Dual ceremony weddings. In villages, couples held two marriage ceremonies, one under British law, another under French, in order for both administrations to legally recognize their union. And in the joint court, a Spanish judge, appointed as tiebreaker, was the only thing breaking the perfect symmetry between the British and French judges. A historian remarked, "The French drove on the right, whilst the British drove on the left. I kid you not." These anecdotes weren't just funny. They underscore how governance became a shadow ballet of conflicting systems and creative human adaptation. By the 1970s, decolonization momentum swept through. Britain pushed for a clear timeline. France stalled. Then, in 1980, local leader Jimmy Stevens declared his island the Republic of Vemerana, sparking the short-lived Coconut War. The rebellion was quashed, and on the 30th of July 1980, the Republic of Vanuatu was born. The bizarre condominium vanished overnight. For islanders, it was both relief and a brand new start. Vanuatu remains trilingual, English, French, Bislama, a linguistic testament to its tangled colonial past. Port Vila's old joint court building stands as architectural graffiti of a government too strange to sustain. The New Hebrides condominium showed that two rival empires could coexist, without war, but only by creating a parallel universe of rulership so convoluted it strained credibility. Was it a diplomatic marvel or colonial folly? Maybe both. The answer probably depended on which set of papers you carried. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more legends from the Library of Lost Lands.